Sensei Victoria Whitfield here, and I'm currently at my dojo, which is an extension of naturalintuition.com. And I wanted to just take a moment to share with you my story. Maybe you've seen some of my content or saw me speak somewhere, and you wanted to know a little bit more of my backstory. So just to quickly introduce myself, if this is the first time you're seeing me, Sensei Victoria Whitfield, creator of naturalintuition.com, and I help entrepreneurs heal. So how I do that is taking them through my 6-step natural intuition system, as well as through different holistic stress management techniques and energy medicine training. So my story, like anyone's story, it can be long and winding and things like that, but I want you to know why in particular I work with entrepreneurs. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. I sincerely believe I'm actually uniquely positioned to help entrepreneurs heal. Why? Well, for one thing, my entire family, all of my immediate entire family are entrepreneurs. I grew up in a house of entrepreneurship, and that's part of our quirky normal. I've two sides of the family, both all have entrepreneurs on both sides, and we're seen as quirky, high energy, offbeat, rebellious, countercultural, innovative, intelligent people. So I love my family. My dad is a serial entrepreneur. He has at least 7 businesses, only one of which has actually really made money. My mom has had 2 businesses in addition to working full-time. He also had those businesses in addition to working and gigging full-time as a jazz musician. I have 2 older brothers who have 2 or 3 businesses each, and I'm currently on my 3rd myself. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 12 years old, and I grew up with those kinds of stories of, like, never let anyone hold you back. Don't settle. Think positive. You have the power. You can change your life. So I've always been around that sort of a self-actualization mindset. Take charge and take personal responsibility. That's been my life. But at the same time, I've seen what it's like behind closed doors, living with such strong-willed, creative, and at times emotionally imbalanced people. Right? The fights can be totally nuclear. My parents are divorced, by the way. They divorced when I was 8. So the financial fights, and then going through having a blended family. When people's businesses are doing well, they're like full of energy and excitement. And then when things get low, there's this emotional depression. I'm uniquely positioned to understand what it's like to be an entrepreneur, because I'm not just an entrepreneur. I've been in that environment my whole life. But I help entrepreneurs heal. My story around healing begins with recovering from a history of abuse. And it's not really the most comfortable thing for me to talk about on camera, but suffice to say, I have been sexually attacked and also betrayed in an intimate relationship. Not by my family, and I'm grateful for that, but in intimate relationships. So with that really initiated my self-care and self-healing journey. I was afraid I was going to lose myself. The world became scary, right? Naturally, if there's someone watching right now who knows what it's like to have a history of abuse or to grow up in a house with corporal punishment, you feel me, right? So eventually there's that traumatic event for me triggered me saying, hey, wait a minute, I don't want this anymore. This is not good. Something's got to give. And I decided it was going to be me. Now, how that played out at first was falling into the people pleasing and codependent and try and hide, to survive, right? At first, but along the line, I couldn't avoid the fact that I was born naturally sensitive and naturally intuitive. So I would always get these gut feelings that I knew something wasn't going to go right. And then when it did happen, when it didn't go well, I'd be kicking myself, thinking, oh, blah, blah, blah. What am I supposed to do now? So with that, my own self-care healing journey brought me along the path of energy medicine, learning more about crystals and meditation and different forms of holistic stress management techniques such as deep breathing and so on and so forth, learning all about chakras and yoga and all these kinds of things, right? Power animals. That for me helped me find myself again, right? Made me feel empowered as if I had a sense of agency in my life. And one of the things that I studied along that path was Reiki, just for myself, just for me. I didn't do it for any form of professional development. I just wanted to continue developing myself and finding myself spiritually. But one of the things that comes with being in Reiki is practicing on others, right? They have these things called Reiki shares. And my spiritual mentor at the time, he encouraged me to just start practicing on others. Hey, Patrick, love you so much. Patrick LaRouge is his name. So with that, I started practicing on others, and I started to draw a following. Now, I wasn't charging at the time. I was working at a full-time job. I didn't have any sort of business at the time, but this seemed to be like a viable market. I had no idea that there was any sort of a spiritual business thing at the time. And so with his help, I started learning finally how to receive payments for the healings that I was giving. I didn't charge at first because I thought you couldn't charge for healing stuff. There's no amount of money you can put on that, but eventually people get mad at you and feel guilty for taking up your time. I'm paying to just healing work on you, essentially. So rather than incur energetic guilt and debt, allowing people to pay me was the solution. And I would just give all the money to my mentor because I was borrowing his room at that time, and then it just continued to grow and grow and grow. And we got business advice from wonderful mentors that helped us continue to expand our marketing, helping more people, so that we moved, I believe, 3 times before we got to this current location. And our businesses grew so much, and his family also grew so much with his wife, that we split, and now my business is taken off and so is his. Before I knew it, I looked up and found that, oh my gosh, in my own work, now that I'm the sole proprietor here, I'm serving entrepreneurs who have been in that state of, I feel like I'm losing myself. I don't know what's happening as my intuition is all over the place. Like my sensitivity, my energy is completely imbalanced. What do I do? Right? I've got this emotional roller coaster going with being an entrepreneur. How can I ground? How can I clear? How do I create a sense of stability? Not just for myself, but also for my kids, for my family, for my bank account. Right? Before I knew it, I was surrounded by entrepreneurs, serving them and helping them heal, getting them grounded so that they can get grounded and stay grounded. And so from that peaceful, clear, and certain space, right, having balanced energy, feeling spiritually conscious while at ease and at peace, relaxed and open, right, with that confidence. From that space, they're able to get out there and serve more people in increasingly aligned ways. So that's my story. I sincerely believe that this is my life's purpose, is to help entrepreneurs heal, specifically by getting them the experiences and education they need to maximize their natural intuition, their natural energy. So I'm curious to hear what you think. Comment below, send me an email back at info@victoriawhitfield.com. That'll come directly to me. And I'm looking forward to working together. If this is something that spoke to you, by the way, please send me an email back, info@victoriawhitfield.com, or if this is on one of my websites, I'm sure there'll be some sort of a link for you to read more about how you and I can begin your healing journey together. Okay? Sending you big hugs. And mwah! See you soon.